I was exposed to this idea yesterday which intrigued me. It's called skill stacking. That may be the name that I came up with it for it. I don't remember if that's what they called it or not. But another idea, I think this is what they used, was compounded skill sets. Compounded skill sets. And what that is taking your skill and amplifying it with one of, there's about 3 or 4 or 5 skills that you can add to just about anything, which will significantly amplify any skill that you have. Now, it sounds really confusing. I got it. Let me explain. When you go into QT, or if you're don't live where there's a QT, a Circle K, or a gas station that does a lot of soda drinks. I don't drink a lot of sodas. I used to drink some soda back in the day, and I'd always appreciate when there's a lot of selection, especially when there's these little additives or little add-ins, right? So you get like a Diet Coke with a shot of lime or a shot of vanilla. Okay? I don't know if you've ever tried those little additives. They're very popular, and you can really mix and match your drinks the way you like, but it adds a lot. Just that little zing or a little something or other. Even Jamba Juice does this. You know, you can get a protein shot, or you can get a shot of, I don't know, CoQ12 or amino acids or all kinds of weird things that we need, and you can add it to your drink for an enhanced experience. So the same thing applies in our lives when it comes to skills and talents. Let me explain. When you develop a skill or a talent, if you're in the vast majority of people for that skill or talent, you will only develop it maybe, 70 or 80% of the way of where you could. I mean, compared to the rest of the world. So you're not going to make it at the top 1% unless you're absolutely extraordinary, or you put in an absolute extraordinarily high amount of work. Okay? So most of us don't. Like, I spent 8 years learning to play the piano. I am nothing like the piano guys. I am not a concert pianist, but I can play most anything put in front of me if I had enough time. Well, there's a skill, and it's a valuable skill, and it puts me in front of a lot of other people, but I could never go and make a living with it right now. I would have to spend a lot more time and put a lot more polish if I relied solely on that one skill for my living, okay? But if you don't want to put in all that extra effort to just get you from, like, say, 80% to 90% of the population that uses that skill, or 90% to 95%, that is a lot of work to get from 90 to 95, or to get from 80 to 90. It's a lot of work and a lot of effort. But another way to do that, which is kind of a shortcut to the system, but every bit as valuable and every bit as, and probably more so, as profitable, is this idea of skill amplification, or modifying or amplifying your skill set. Skill stacking. Skill set stacking. I don't know. Let's come up with a good name for it. But I love this idea because you can take these little additives like your drinks, and you can add it to your current skill, which is like your soda. So just a little shot of one of, like, and I can think of off the top of my head 4 or 5 maybe additives that you can add that are easy things to learn that can apply to anybody's skill set and really enhance your odds of using that skill set as a venue for making money, or turning a profit, or making it into a profitable endeavor, or turning a hobby into a business, for example. Okay? And number 1, marketing. Learn how to market. Right? So you can take that skill and you can apply the additive of marketing to that skill. So let's say my piano, for example. I can play the piano, but I don't play it concert level, but I play it well enough that I could teach somebody that doesn't know how to play the piano how to play the piano. I know the basics. I can teach chords. I can teach how to read music, clef and treble, and understanding the codes and all the different the quarter notes and the eighth notes and the whole notes, and I can teach that because I've learned that. Haven't learned it to a point where I can make a really good living off of just that. However, I can take that, add to it another skill of marketing, and I can maybe make a course and market that course and sell it to people who are beginners or people learning to do music. I don't have to be the world's best musician in order to do that. Another skill, and I would say this might be number 2, is persuasion. Learn how to get good at persuasion. So you develop a skill, or you take a current skill that you have or a talent that you have, add to it the amplifier of persuasion, and now you can create videos and you can teach people about it. Or let's say an amplifier might be storytelling is a really good amplifier. You get on stage, you can have a really great career as a public speaker learning how to storytell. So you can take a skill that you have, a talent that you have, you can go and you can teach audiences who appreciate learning that because you have developed an additive skill that has amplified and multiplied your ability to make a profit from that skill. I don't even know if this is making sense. It's making sense up here. I don't know if it's making sense as it's coming out here. But this is really exciting to me because it takes the excuses away for the vast majority of us who have spent years, who feel like we're mediocre. You ever feel like you're just kind of mediocre, right? That you've done nothing great, you've got no huge amount of success or huge experience in any one area. You feel like, most everybody else. You've got some skills here and some skills there and things that you've learned, but so has everybody else. So how am I going to be different from everybody else? Well, in today's world, you can market and make money on just about anything. Okay, I've heard of a podcast the other day of a lady that does specialty advertising, social media advertising. I think it was Facebook or Instagram, I can't remember which, but for scrapbookers. She learned how to scrapbook, and now she helps scrapbookers advertise. I mean, it's like such a specialty niche that you would think, how does she make a living from it? But she makes a 6-figure income doing this. So she took a skill she had. She wasn't one of the world's greatest scrapbookers, but she learned how to market, and she added the valuable skill of marketing to her skill of scrapbooking, and boom, she became somebody who helped other people advertise and make money from their endeavors. And so turned it into a huge profit. Doing just scrapbooking alone, just on the merits of her one skill or talent, she's only going to get so far. Just scrapbooking. If she said, I'm just going to do a scrapbooking business, and she's just going to help people do their scrapbooking, for example. I'm really good at scrapbooking, so I'm going to do people's scrapbooks, and you can pay me a certain amount. Well, without any additives, she's only going to be able to take that skill so far, or her income or her business so far, and then she'll be stuck. And I think that's where a lot of us fall short. I think we look at ourselves and say, well, I don't have this, so, what can I do? But we don't realize there's all these places online where you can develop platforms, and you can teach courses, and many of them, a great many of them, are free. And you can turn a profit, and you can start teaching people, and you can start marketing yourself, and you can start selling yourself, and you can learn the art of persuasion, and you can learn, and there's video webinars all over where people are teaching you free things, and there's usually a sale at the end of it, and that's great. It's how they make their money. But you can pick up so many things. You don't have to buy their product. You can sit through a webinar. It's free education on what is working in today's world. So take advantage of those things. Take a look at your skill set. Take a look at your and what kinds of amplifiers you can add to your skill set to enhance them and make your skill set so much more valuable, because not only can you do X, but you can also do X and you can sell it, and you can make videos, and you can market, and you can get good at speaking or storytelling or persuasion or so many different things. So there's some thoughts on on some things. If you're stuck, if you've got any kind of skill or talent at all, you're better than a lot of people at it. You don't have to be the best. Take that skill, add an amplifier, and see where it takes you.